Bonjour. Right, another 6 of the week. Sorry it's a bit late this week. 6 of the best this week. Had a few things on, etc., etc. So do apologise for that. But still 6 really good books. It was a good week. An average week. Wasn't super heavy. So let's get straight into it. Well, look, before I do, a big thank you again to everyone that is liking and subscribing and commenting on my videos. Really do appreciate it. Really does help the level that I'm at the which is at the bottom, to give the algorithm something to cling on to and look at and recognise and etc. So I really do appreciate everyone that is getting on board, and it's my year anniversary nearly. So to everyone that's contributed to my channel over this past year, sincere thanks. And it'll be this Sunday coming, hogTALK special edition, where we have a little chat about it with a couple of the usual guests. So look out for that one. Let's get into it. Right, I Hate Fairyland. I haven't done this for a while. I don't think I've done this since the new team took over. They're still doing stand-up job. Just lots of fun. Just lots of fun. Hallows Eve. I don't think I have done this unless I've done issue 1 of this. This is just a great. It's just a comic that I'm enjoying for the traditional nature of it. Her superpowers, or bag of tricks, shall we say, I just like the character, and they're just doing a nicely linear storyline with a few characters, and they're making it quite standard's the wrong word, average. I mean, that doesn't really sing its praises, does it? But it's in my 6 of the best, because there's just something about it that I'm really enjoying. I think it is the characters and the straightforward storyline. Sometimes we can get too convoluted. And another one from Marvel, which I'm enjoying, and it isn't convoluted either, is this Guardians of the Galaxy. With Kev, and in this issue, as we'll see, we're getting into Groot 4 and getting in to find out what's going on with Groot and what he's doing to the galaxy. Jeff Lemire is back, doing what he does best with Andrea Sorrentino. Nice first issue, as always with Jeff Lemire. You need that issue to set up what's going on. Reminded me of there was a series set in a tower block that I think Amazon. It wasn't Netflix. I think it was Amazon that did it, and that reminds me a lot of but it was a German series. It was Netflix actually. It was a German. Anyway, it doesn't matter, and I can't remember the name of it. Anyway, that's good horror setup. This fantastic setup for this, because of as always, Brian Hitch's artwork. He brings it, and this is a Marvel heavy week, so I think I'm needing a bit of a maybe a Marvel kick after all this praise I've been showering on DC in recent times. I've just realised how much Marvel I've got. I think, 1 image and the rest is Marvel, isn't it? Oh no, 2 image. No, yeah, I'm happy with that. And book of the week. This surprised me. It is very, very, sorry about the glare. It's really hot here in the UK at the moment, so the windows are open and the blinds are up and all the rest of it. So, but anyway, I think you can get a good look at that. Really, really enjoyed this. Book of the week. Getting back to basics with the Hulk, and it's about time. It's about time, but woven into a wider, a wider horror story. So yeah, I think it says here the age of the monsters has begun on the cover, and it intrigued me. I picked it up. Yeah, back to basics. Love it. So let's do a deep dive after the scroll. So yeah, we're going to start off with I Hate Fairyland, issue 6 of the second run, without Scotty Young on art duties, and Brett Bean has been a worthy successor to Scotty Young. New character here, new big bad, King Claudius, who is obviously was it? Yeah, Claudia. Claudia's brother, who was the big bad in the other issues. He's got that Scotty Young vibe about him, Brett Bean's artwork, but I would say it's a smoother style. It is a smoother style. And get Gertrude's back, and yeah, now this character's come along. There's always an innocent involved. Not so innocent as it turns out, and obviously Gertrude being Gertrude, she wants to deal with it in her way. So yeah, if you haven't picked up this book by now, do yourself a favour. Treat yourself to a trade paperback. This issue 6 is obviously, we're getting on to the end now of this. So there's always ultra violence involved. There was always heads lopped off, and things being munched and burnt and etc. So yeah, this is this is the guy that he's hired, that King Claudius has hired to get Gertrude. This look at this. Oh, you later, man. But yeah, no. Like I say, it must be an age thing with me at the moment. With these weird and wonderful stuff. He's arrived just as Gertrude is obviously doing something. Yeah, expected. Yeah, that's it. I liked it. I just love this stuff. You know, the extreme close up of it. Like, yeah, it's pure fun. Pure fun to be continued. Like I say, it's probably not the best jumping on issue, but I would recommend I Hate Fairyland in general. You know, just pick it up, get the trade, first trade, last trade, whatever one it was. This issue 4, Hallows Eve, character from the Spider-Man comics, and I didn't really know the character, but I've picked this up since issue 1, and I'm really enjoying this kind of getting back to basics of keeping. You know, you've got a bad guy in it, you've got the heroine in it, and in between you've got a couple of additional characters. This is the guy she's trying to save, and this is her friend who works for the organisation that she's in charge of. And the story, it all stems from that, from the one bad guy with her goons. But I do like this. The conceit of her powers is the fact that she's got all these masks in this bag. So it's witch, werewolf. Now she's a witch. She's got spells. I just find got a vampire mask there, and I just find this just a really intriguing. This was just a nice way of escaping, you know, impending doom, and it's just straightforward. It's crisp, clear artwork from. Forgive me. Let's have a look. So Erica Schultz is writing it, doing a stand-up job, 4 issues, and I'm just really, really enjoying it. It's, I think the word it's an easy read, and I love it for that. Michael Dowling and Brian Reber on the colouring, because the colours are just as good. It's really got its own style between the art and the colouring. So kudos to them both for that. But it's, yeah, I think that's. But when I say easy read, that does not make it, in my eyes, a bad thing. I think sometimes you don't want, you know, a novel, enough words to write a novel. You know, this just cracks along, this storyline. Here's the, you know, the masks that give her all her different powers. You know, big bad again. It's straightforward, and I do, like I say, I really do like it for that. The only non-straightforward thing is the fact that she's got these supernatural powers. You know, but at the end of the day, the name of the comic is Hallows Eve. So I don't think, you know, the first 3 issues will be so. I do thoroughly recommend you can get an issue 1 of that, and it's only issue 4 now, and try it out. If not, wait for the trade, but this will make a stonking trade. I've really been enjoying this latest Guardians storyline. I can't believe the legacy numbering of it is 183, to be honest. Kev Walker's artwork on this, I think it's been some of his best. Colin Kelly, Jackson Lansing on the writing duties. Got to say, these are cracking. This is the third issue. There is a kind of link there, but they have been 3. It's only really Quill and the Guardians. I know this might sound a bit obvious, that link the stories. They're self-contained stories in each issue, and this sci-fi saga, this sci-fi story in this particular issue, is a hunt. Is a hunt on an alien planet, and Quill and Drax go along for the ride, so to speak. And here we are. Look at this. Just great artwork from Kev Walker. His style has really developed over the years. He used to have a lot more, I would say, of a comic-y style, but he's keeping enough of it. And I really did like the quirky nature of this storyline. That European feel, that kind of nod to Mobius, and those sci-fi stories with the quirky, mad, mental characterizations, which Star-Lord and Drax and Groot fit in perfectly, absolutely spot on with it. I thoroughly enjoyed this. Groot. Should you call it a guilty pleasure? Well, I suppose I should really, but yeah, I like the character of Groot. I like all the Guardians actually, and when they're written well, and it started off issue 1 as more like a Western tone to it, which they are keeping the Western tone, but this was more sci-fi, and it was really only Quill and Drax. Last issue was I think it was Gamora more. So anyway, you can see his heritage in more traditional cartooning coming through, but it's nice. It does suit Guardian. I love this moody stuff. So anyway, thoroughly recommend that. Kev Walker's best, and the writing team stand up as well. And as teams go, I mean, Jeff Lemire and Andrea Sorrentino, I've been getting what I could of this Bone Orchard mythos. What was it? The Thousand Feathers one, and what were the other ones? They did say it in the back. Yeah, 10,000 Black Feathers and Passageway, Little Monsters. They're all part of the same kind of. And obviously, he's doing Phantom Road at the moment. I don't know if that's part of this mythos, but basically, we are following. This is the setup, and obviously, it's called Tenement, so it's 7 characters. Is the setup. We think it's through the boy's eyes because we follow the boy in, and we see a vision. We think this is the boy's vision because he's, and so it opens. This is one of the other 7 characters, but this isn't really. There's another one of the characters interacting, and we're getting to know, like, he's a gambler, and he obviously needs help, care, assistance with his wife. The carer is having a little word with him. Oh, my paycheck didn't go through, but we've just seen him gambling £1,000 on a horse, or a dog, whatever it is, the bookies. And he's saying, yeah, now we're seeing all the past due bills. Now we're going to another room. This is the character that we just met, the boy. So all interlinked. All these 7 characters. Here's the next one. She's in a band and she's after some drugs. But nicely done. This is just nicely done. As she walks past the elevator, here's the boy. Now it's these two's turn. And now this boy's meeting this guy. And now we find out that it's through this black guy's eyes that we are seeing the story through. This writing is his, whether it's a diary or a book he's written, and he leaves a note. He leaves a note for the boy at the end. So, like, here we go. Bob, Justin, Gary, Tanya, Isaac, Amanda, and me, Felix. I won't go any more into that because that is basically what that is in a nutshell. The setup for another superb, really great team. Dave Stewart on the artwork as well. They're really great team. They obviously collaborate quite a bit, which is good. They know each other's strengths and weaknesses. This was mad. It was always going to be mad with Brian Hitch on the artwork, which was the main draw. It was the main draw for me. I won't pardon the pun, but this is what he does best. How the panels struggle to contain his artwork, and he's got such a cinematic style to his artwork. Look at this stuff. Action-packed, nothing, obviously down to good writing as well. I'm not saying that, but this is what Hitch does best. And obviously this is the evil Reed Richards. That's your crux of your story. Evil Reed Richards has escaped. This is the escape. This is the team. He's obviously organised the team. That was his psychiatrist. And now we're in Ultimate Invasion. There we go. Reed is sorting out. This was the aftermath of him escaping. And again, it's an issue 1, but we need this set up. Look what he's done to the people he's left behind, kind of thing. Now he's in the Baxter building. This isn't Reed Richards. This is the evil one. Yeah. So yeah, very nicely paced. Obviously, battles aplenty are going to ensue, but this was a nice setup. Plenty of action already, and defining what he's going to do and how he's going to do it, which I really did enjoy. Here we go. This is Hitch in all his finery, in all of his finery, and they've all got to obviously try and tackle him. So there we go. So again, it's I won't kind of take you right to the end of issue 1 because you can flick through that yourself, and I don't want to give too many spoilers away. But nice thick. I mean, I don't know how much that was actually. Oh, it's a big book. $8.99, $8.99 on this. And this is good. It's just good. Take a look at that. That is good to we'll be doing cover of the week, but it's good to see him back on all this stuff. Reminds me of the Ultimates. I can't get enough of that. So, and on to book of the week. For me, this one caught me by surprise. I didn't think anyone was gonna do an interesting Hulk story again. Not that I consider it to be a hard job, but these guys have done it. There's a group of guys gone into this tomb. They don't really realise, they've obviously unearthed something horrific. So it's all standard setup. It doesn't have to be mind-numbingly, new, and they've awoken something in the catacombs. I mean, and there we go. We're in it. Hulk Age of Monsters. Philip Kennedy Johnson writing duties. Nick Klein on the art and Matthew Wilson doing the colours. Great. And what a great job it is. Obviously, this is not the Banner I grew up with, but that was in the 70s, 80s. But we just want Banner, don't we? We just want Banner. We want him interacting with humans, and then we want him freaking out. And there's something going on. There's something going on. So he runs off into the woods. And from there, our horror story is kicking off. And obviously, the Hulk. I love it when the Hulk is part of a horror story. Or there is a wider horror afoot. We're introduced to these couple of characters who are escaping, an abusive parent, which is nice, a nicely adult storyline. Some nice graphically, gory horror stuff. Love it. Just love it. One of our incidental characters. So, yay. And we get a Hulk out at the end. So there isn't a lot more you can wish for. And they make it a horror. He is a monster. He is a monster. So there's no getting away from it. And they leave me alone and all that. Love it. They have made him. Look, Harry's kind of exploding off the page. So that's nice. That's down to Nick Klein. We just kind of had Brian Hitch doing the same thing. But I like the fact he's bursting out of the page. The page cannot contain the size of the monster. I really, really enjoyed it. Nice sound effects. This is everything. This is everything I want in a whole comic, to be fair. So this one I thoroughly recommend, and that is my book of the week. And if we're going to talk about covers of the week, now I'm not sure if should Ultimate Invasion be in there straight away, because it's got everyone on it. So is that going to help? You know, is it a cheat, or is it just, does it deserve to be the cover of the week because it's got all, you know, Black Panther, Reed Richards, Bolt, Spider-Man, you know, any comic with Spider-Man I suppose is going to sell. We've got, you know, that you can't get more than Banner as the fugitive walking down the road or the railway tracks with the Hulk looming and all these, you know, I thought that was a highly effective Age of Monsters with all this stuff going on. You can't beat a bit of monstrous group with the Guardians, you know, based on the fact that, you know, everyone's aware of this stuff now from the films. I've got to put this in because that, if that doesn't tell you what's going on in that comic, then I don't know what will. The more you look at this cover, the more insane you realise what you're going to get. Look at this stuff. The more you know you're going to get inside. Look, why there's a star in her hair, I don't know. Look, but there's one sitting there. As always, there was, you know, there's a few good covers this week. As always, these classical style paintings that Brian Haberlin does, I think are absolutely superb. This isn't one of the better ones, but nevertheless, I just think that is so professionally, it's so well accomplished for a cover, just like that classical look of of an old painting, as if they bought it from somewhere in Europe. Now, I didn't do Kaya. I hope everyone appreciates the restraint I showed in not doing, but I just thought that was a wonderful cover, though. I've got to get Kaya in, haven't I? I just thought this was a wonderful cover for a fantasy comic. I think that looks pretty cool. And just one more. Now, that is all kicking off in World's Finest. Again, you can't get much more going on. Batman, Wonder Woman, Superman, I forget their names now. Like I say, I'm not much of a DC fan. So, but as far as covers of the week go, that wasn't the best one. The Guardians is good, but it's lacking a bit of impact. Yeah, I mean, I Hate Fairyland really is the one in a way, but I did show the wraparound of Ultimate Invasion earlier. But do you know what? I'm going to go Incredible Hulk this week, because I really do think that tells you everything you need to know. That says exactly what it says on the tin of that comic. And I think for that reason, it deserves to be cover of the week. There's nothing else more you need to know. So on that note, I'm going to leave it there. With cover of the week, and until next time, I will bid you all adios.